Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are talking all about what I do to transition from summer to fall and the makeup products that I change up, skincare, that kind of thing. During the summer, I like a more glowy, dewy look, but come the fall time, I still want the glow. I don't necessarily want the dewy. Hope that makes sense. So for instance, during the summer, I use the Supergoop Glow Screen sunscreen. For the better part of the summer, towards the end, I did, I used it all up and I went into the Ulta MD. But I really like the Glow Skin because it really gave a nice glowy undertone prior to me applying makeup, and in addition it served its purpose for sun protection. Before I get into this look, I'm just going to start with skincare, and in a few of the clips you'll see I didn't apply any of the skincare online. I didn't record that, but basically what I use during the fall time versus the summertime is, because I like that dewy and glowy look during the summertime, I go towards glowing primers. Clearly the sunscreen that I just talked about, it has more of a glowy tone to it or finish to it. Now transitioning into fall, I certainly have changed over and I'm using the Ulta MD, the tinted. It doesn't have the dewy glow, it just has more of a glow. It does have a sheen tint to it, which I like. So the foundations, I've always been a full coverage foundation for years and years. And obviously as I've gotten older, my skin has changed, things are going on. So I've managed to transition a little bit out of the full coverage and go more to medium. I don't even want to say light to medium, but I'll say medium coverage with a touch on the full coverage. During the summer, I did use for the better part, and I still am using it. You'll see in today's video. I want to finish it up before I go into my true like winter foundations. So I use the Sephora Better Skin Ever. The Better Skin Ever claims to have more of like a perfect natural finish, and I don't disagree. It is what I'm wearing now, and you can see, I hope you can pick it up, I think it leaves a beautiful finish. It has really surprised me throughout this summer. I've talked about it a couple of times. The finish is nice, it lays perfectly. I don't think I need to change this out necessarily, even for winter. We'll see how the cooler temperature affects my skin from a dryness standpoint, but for the most part I don't struggle with that too much. Just really have normal skin. I want to use this up. I am almost there. I have another bottle in a little bit of a darker shade. I may not be able to use that unless maybe I mix them together, but anyway, I've really been pleasantly surprised by this foundation for sure. The other one that I love is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder. This one says that it's youth boosting perfect skin foundation, and I believe that to be true. When I first tried this on in the store, the lady applied it and I was like, oh no, this look, I see everything, I was so against it. She was like, just work with it. I promise you it is perfection on your skin and you're really going to love it. And she was not kidding. It really is a lovely, lovely foundation. So I'll go in and I'll use this during the winter. Now I can say as we get closer to the winter, it'll be more light to medium and less on the full coverage. But I go back and forth. It really, I think, depends, and I think it's true for most people, really depends on how your skin is reacting on certain days. Certain days it may have some more radiance within, it may have some dullness. It might just need a little bit more TLC independent of the skincare that you're using. And so I do play around a little bit, but this one is tried and true, and I just like the coverage it gives me, and it looks really beautiful in the fall winter months. But we'll play around. I do have the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I have like a little tester of it, and I've been really liking that. So that between the Armani and Charlotte Tilbury will more than likely be what I stick with during this season into winter. As far as bronzers are concerned, during the summer I use more of a glistening bronzer just to kind of give me that sun glazed look, if you would. But now I'm back to using the Benefit contour stick, which I think I'm done with it. I finished it. That was my goal. I needed to be finished. So I think this was the last application. You'll probably see it on screen here. So that's finished, and that's a cream contour. And I went back to the Hoola bronzer, which again has a matte finish, but I don't get too matte. I mean, you can see it's always worked very well for me. And just a light hand, you don't go in really super heavy with it, just a light hand, and it really makes a difference. And to me, it gives me a really, really nice warmth to my face, especially that I'm so pale now without self-tanning. So I do like that, even though it may be a little bit more matte than I'm used to. It's definitely, that's why they call it a transition. You know, you got to transition your whole mindset into changing that prior look and going forward. So that's the bronzer that I have transitioned back into. And there are so many out there. I do love the Charlotte Tilbury. I have like the Bronze and Glow palette. Really love that. Charlotte's products are just like none other. I'm a big fan of hers. So I'll use that. I'll go back and forth. I don't really do too much highlighter during this time, unless I really just want to step it up a little bit, but I didn't put any on today. I did forget to mention the concealer. I am not a concealer person. I probably should be, but they always crease on me. You saw that I pulled out the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and I just put it on the inner corners and then just worked my way down. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. If it gets too cakey, I really tried to go in very, very light-handed, but I do notice that I have some darkness around here. So I was trying to work with that a little bit. But overall, it seems to be doing okay. The one that I do want to try is the Lancome 10 Idol Concealer. I've heard rave reviews about it, and I really want to try it. It's supposed to be a very light coverage. Not so much light coverage, just a light formula, and it doesn't cake. So I'll keep you posted on that because I'm really excited about trying it. And then as far as blush was, I'm still on the cream blush trend, and I use the e.l.f. in the color Bali. And initially when I opened the package, I was a little nervous, but as you can see, it really is just a nice, beautiful, I mean, it's dark in the pot, but you take it out and you go really light on it, and like I've always shared, starting from the top and working your way down, you tell me. I think it came out really, really pretty. I've used it a couple of times, but I was using it with a different bronzer, and for some reason, or maybe in fairness, it probably was that I went in really too heavy with it, and it just sort of looked too muddy on my skin. But with the lighter application, I think it looks really beautiful. Now, on eyes, I did go a little bit, not so much glam, but I did pack a little bit more color on the outer V. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, which you saw is well loved. I didn't get it when it first came out, so I have it a good, probably closer to 2 years, and I use this thing all the time. I do have one on backup because it's just a go-to for me. I can't say enough good things about it. I just love her formulas. They're really fantastic. I did just go in with a little bit of a softer fall transition for me. I think that's what I was trying to go with. I didn't want a full glam, clearly, but I did want to go softer on the eyes and a little bit bolder on the lips. And speaking of lips, I have this, it's a Maybelline Cream in Almond Hustle, and I used the MAC Spice lip liner, and I think it came out nice. I think it blended really well together. As we talk about lips, I cannot stand a matte formula that is so drying on the lips that your lips are so parched that you can't get enough anything to hydrate it. I just don't like it. However, I will say, I don't know what the brands are doing lately, but they're really coming out with some beautiful, beautiful, real hydrating matte formulas. So the color stays, but it's not so matte where it's so drying on your skin. It's not acting as a stain as opposed to a lipstick that has some movement and hydration and creaminess to it. And I really am pleasantly surprised with the Maybelline. I know that Milani has a really good one. I mean, there's a ton of them out there now that they claim to be matte, but yet they're not drying. And that's the perfect formula for me. And so far, I'm really liking this one. Like I said, it has a nice creamy formula. It feels really good, doesn't feel drying. I didn't put a gloss on top of this. Basically, I just prepped my lips as I was getting ready. I just had some lip balm on, and so they were ready to go by the time I finished my look. Going back to the eyes though, I did want to mention that because I have hooded eyes, and we all know what that looks like, I do not put liner on the top part of my lid. I just can't do it. It takes up too much real estate, as I've spoke about before, and it just doesn't look good. So what I did do, and I didn't film that, is I just tightlined the upper waterline, where you just take a nice like kohl pencil, and I think the one I used was like maybe the Marc Jacobs gel liner or something, and I just went underneath in my waterline. And I apologize for not filming that. I should have, but it was in my bathroom. I just got up, quickly did it. But it does add some dimension within your eye look, but it doesn't take up the real estate on your lid. So I think that's a great way to add some pop to your eyes without creating that look and it just closing your eyes up altogether. This wasn't really a tutorial. I just wanted to share with you what I changed up in my routine. And honestly, it's more the products, less about the eyes, because I feel like the eyes are more the colored palette that changes more so than when you're talking like a cream or a bronzer or a shimmer or a sheen type product. So that's kind of how I approach the transition. I love a dewy, glowy face, but this time of year I'm a little bit more give me a glow but not the dewiness, and keep it a little bit more matte, and I think I achieved that in today's look. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope that this gave you some idea of a transition. Please leave a comment down below if there are any questions that I did not answer or that you're interested in knowing. Please share with us and let us know what you do transitioning from summer to fall, or just transitioning seasons altogether. Please subscribe. It really helps my channel out. Press a like and the bell notification so you know when I upload future videos. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in my next video. Bye.